Good morning, Vesta. How are you? You're going to be very familiar with this project today. Hi, Jean. How are you? If you're new, jump on and say hello and let us know where you're watching from. Okay, what's this on my computer? Hold on. Oh, I don't know. It went away. Oh, good. I'm glad you're doing good. Hi, Janice. How are you? Thank you for sharing, Jean. Are you getting excited about on stage? Tony, what about you? We've only got a week. And I still haven't made my swap cards yet, but I do have an idea. I saw that you were puppy sitting. Ozzy looks so cute. Hi, Sue. Hi, Linda. Good morning, everybody. Okay, you gotta let your dog out. Hi, Christina. Oh, you're starting to pack already? Oh my goodness, I'll be packing the night before. Hi, Eileen. Good morning, everyone. Jean swaps are done. Hi, Christina. So next weekend is on stage, and there's quite a group of us that are all going to be in Indianapolis. So if you're going to be in Indianapolis, let us know so that we can make sure we can try and find you and meet. Hi, Lori. I would love to meet everybody in person when I see your names over and over again, or we see each other online. It would be so nice to meet in person. So, Linda? Oh, she dreamt about making swaps. That's so funny. Amanda, hello, good morning. I know Amanda's cards are done and they're adorable. I hope I get one. Hint, hint. So today, we're going to show some cards that I got in the mail. Tomorrow is the big birthday for me. I turn 60 tomorrow. And so that's a big deal. I've got some birthday cards that have come in that I want to share with you. And some of you may remember, some may not know, but last year I lost my dad on my birthday. I'm not trying to dwell on it because I know he would want me to celebrate such a birthday. But tomorrow we're going to go out to the cemetery and spend some time there. And then in the evening, we're going to go out for dinner. And the one thing that I wanted to do, you know, some people go on trips for their big birthdays, or, you know, there's a lot of big celebrations for milestones like this. I really don't have that. I mean, I would love it. But my thing is I've never tried a martini. So for my 60th birthday, I'm going to try a martini. I've been doing a bunch of research about them. Some people like them, some don't. There's all different opinions on how it's made. But my thing that I'm excited about is I'm going to try a martini. Who knows? But I just thought it'd be something different to do. So, hi, Joan. So that's kind of what the plans are for tomorrow. I'm actually going to start the morning out birding with a local group that was how I got started in birding back in 2013. So I'm going to start out my birthday birding. Then we're going to make the drive to the cemetery, and then later in the day, in the evening, then we're going to go out to eat, and I can try my martini. Who knows? They look kind of fun. I mean, you see them on TV. People are drinking them. I think I like the shape of the glass, but we'll see. And I love salt and I love olives, so I think it might be a hit. We're about to find out. So, Jean's never had a martini either. So, I mean, it's kind of a way to kind of commemorate a big milestone. So, I'll let you know how it goes. So, Sharon, okay, Sharon just sent me a message that she can't find me. I am on the Trippy Card Maker, right? I believe I am. If somebody could get a shout out to Sharon, it's going to be kind of hard for me to go between Facebook and Messenger while I'm doing a live, but if anybody can get a hold of Sharon Smythe and let her know where we're at, I would appreciate it, because I know she wants to be watching. So, let's see, what else? I'm going to be featuring in today's card the Fitting Florets collection. Everybody's using it. I want to, try my hand at it. I've done a couple of things with it. I really like it. It's not what I would say a year or so ago would be something that I would gravitate to, but I'm really liking it. I was not so much like about the florals and things like that many years ago, but I've noticed that over the years my taste is changing. And a lot of the things that I kind of would like maybe snub my nose at, I'm liking. Okay, Sharon's here. Yay. I'm so glad you found us, Sharon. Sharon is always excited to know what we're going to be doing on Thursday. And so it would have been a bummer if she would have missed us. So we're going to look at some cards that I've gotten in the mail. I'm going to feature the Fitting Florets collection. There was something else I was going to mention, but it'll come to me, I'm sure, when we get to doing the project. So I am going to flip the camera around, and while I'm doing that and kind of rearranging my space, everybody say hi to one another. It's amazing how close this group that watches every Thursday has become. So just say hi amongst each other while I do a little changing around here. I just got to reposition some things to make it easier, because I need to use my trimmer and that takes up some space. I got to just kind of rearrange some things right now. So just say hi to everybody. There we go. I gotta balance. There we go. That would have been terrible had things come crashing down. I still don't know if I like that. Maybe move it over a little bit. That seems to be better. Looks good on the computer anyway. So let me just finish moving some things around. I think that's good. I have some things organized next to me that I really don't want to get out of whack. Okay, so good morning, everybody. This is Julie, and I am the Trippy Card Maker of Quilts and More. So welcome if you are brand new. I think I want to slide that back a little bit more. November's host code is right here. If you see something that I'm using that you like and you want to place an order, that's the host code for the month of November. There's a place and checkout where you can enter that. And I like to use my Stampin' Up! Rewards to send thank you gifts to those who place orders with me. So let's do some mail first. And I really needed to do these three kind of off camera because these are some sympathy cards for, we lost our cat last week, unexpectedly, totally unexpectedly. I mean, he was here and he wasn't, just like that. So I got a few sympathy cards in the mail, and it's still kind of raw. You know, our pets are like our kids, and when it's kind of unexplainable or you're not prepared, it kind of takes the wind out of you. So This card here is from Kathy Tell. And what I love about this is just how subtle it is, but it really, really touches the heart. It's very impactful. So this is a little kitty punch, and with the heart, and the colors are so soothing. So thank you, Kathy. It's very, very sweet. And Susan Boback, she's a fine liner. Kathy is actually on my team. Susan is a fine line sister, and she used the Retired Cat Punch. And Stretch was a black and white tuxedo. Tuxedos are my favorite. I shouldn't have favorites, but I do. I love a tuxedo. So this is a really pretty card too. And the embossing on it, the texture is really, really awesome just to feel. So thank you, Susan, for that. And then Amanda Bach, she is going to be in Indy, and I can't wait to meet her. She's also coming to the fall retreat next year. Isn't this beautiful? Rainbow Bridge. There's the rainbow. That, you know, I hope you've all heard the poem of Rainbow Bridge and what happens when we lose our fur babies. So I love the rainbow for Rainbow Bridge, and just the silhouette is just striking. So thank you, Amanda, so much. These really touched my heart. And I want to share some birthday cards real quick, if you don't mind. Susan, aren't they? I mean, they're just so heartwarming and so touching. Oh, Linda, yes. This past week, I have been reorganizing. I went into Hobby Lobby last week for one thing, and they had all of like their autumn stuff on sale for 66% off. So I found this long box that I thought, that's going to organize something. Well, it ended up, if I laid it on its side and I could lay my punches on the side, it's holding right now 17 of the punches. So that was a good way to get the punches out of the space I had them, because I was running out of room for some stamp sets that I wanted to put in there. So yes, I have been reorganizing. And I reorganize a lot. Does anybody else? Like my husband will say, what are you doing up there in my craft room? And I'll be like, I'm reorganizing. And he goes, didn't you just do that not too long ago? It's like I'm constantly trying to reorganize, because I like to have my most used things right in front of me, so I don't have to keep getting up and walking around to get things. So it's always a work in progress, but it was a lot of fun. I had fun doing it. Hi, Holly. How are you? Holly says she does it all the time. So that is so funny. Yes, I mean, you know, we got to keep trying to make it easier, not harder. Okay, so Doris sent me this cute die. She had gotten one for herself. Isn't that cute? And I don't know where she got it from. If you're curious about it, you'll have to ask her. But this is what it looks like. And if you were to put this on top of even something white, and I don't have it handy, the background is going to come through where the hearts are. So this could make some really cute quilt cards. Thank you, Doris. I know. You guys are going to have to ask Doris where she got it, because I don't know. And then Teresa Henchman sent me, she does the needle point. I think this is called needle point. If you remember, she had sent me a needlepoint of a barn that had a barn quilt on it. Look at this little bag. It's got a little chirpy doodle on it. Is that not like the cutest? And she put an insert in there so that I can stand it up and store some things in it. Isn't it just the cutest? And then I want to show you her card. This is the envelope card. Isn't that pretty? We did this some time ago. She's got the Velcro on there. Wishing you much happiness today and always. So thank you, Teresa. I love it, love it, love it. And as you may know, Karen Titus is my upline. And she's got a large group called the Back Porch Stampers. And I got some birthday cards from them this week. This is from Joanne Wiggins. It says happy birthday. It's got some of the little stars. Signed it that she's from the Back Porch Stampers. Cute little happy birthday card. Tony, I think you were the first one to send a birthday card. But look how cute this is. This is just adorable. I got to... Where's my... What am I doing wrong here? Oh, here it is. Let's celebrate you. Isn't that so cute? Thank you, Tony. And then Vesta. This is her card. Whoops. Don't want to bend my butterfly. Look at how pretty this is. I love the monochromatic colors, the pearls, the bling. Thank you so much, Vesta. These are my favorite colors. Blue-greens are my favorite colors. And this card was inspired by Mary Nabe. So those who are not familiar with Mary, I think it's Stampin' Peace by Mary Nabe is her Facebook page. I'm actually riding with Mary to Onstage next week. So we get to meet for the first time. It's going to be so much fun doing a road trip with her. This is another Veronica Jameson. She's a Back Porch Stamper. Look how simple this card is. This would make a really nice masculine card. Just with your leftover strips. The muted colors, very pretty. And how often do we forget about square cards? Judy LaMagna, I get one from her every year from the Back Porch Stampers. This is that angled fold, but she did the angle cut on both ends and then put a belly band around it. Very simple, very, very sweet, and a good idea card to put in like your collection of like, what can I make? What do I want to case or go to? This is a really cute design. So we got that one. And then Nancy Young, she is a fine liner and she's a traveling nurse. And I just found out from her that she's in Toledo working right now. So we're going to make plans by the time we want to get together before she's done with her time here in Toledo in December. Isn't that a cute little easel card with the geraniums? Very, very sweet. So I can't wait to meet her in person. Kim Lloyd is another Back Porch Stamper. And really cute using the elephants for a happy birthday card. Very, very cute. Janice Key. You'll recognize Janice's name here. And I had to laugh when I got this birthday card because you're going to recognize it. It's one of the blocks that we're going to do in November for the Barn Quilt card kit. Except hers is much bigger. This is Janice's take on that design. And it's a little bit thicker. She used a little bit thicker paper. So it really sits up on her card base, which she ran through this, I believe this is the subtle embossing folder. All of it's done with that embossing folder. But really has a really nice weight and feel to it without being too heavy. Very, very pretty, done in the blues. So I told her, I said, are we telepathic or something? Because we were both thinking of that quilt block at the same time. And this is Amanda Bach's birthday card to me. This is one of the dies that it doesn't actually cut these little pieces out, but it you can pop up like the wings. Let's see if I can get it. You can pop little parts of the die out. Very, very pretty card. And this is one of my favorite stamp sets. Thank you, Amanda. Rosemary Rands is a back porch stamper. Love. This is one of the where you can chop it up and then move it around. So you can get you could get three different cards using 3 different pieces of designer series paper. And isn't this sweet? She sent me some backs for my buttons out of that card. So Rosemary, thank you so much. That really is very personable, and I love that you thought of that. The other one is tucked inside the envelope here. But she sent me 2 buttons for the backs of the cards. Kim Dorsey, I saw Karen Titus do this card here. We've got lots of glitter, and this was a card that held a lot of little punched things and glitters, confetti and stuff. It was really, really, really fun to open it. And it just pulls out like this. And so it's an envelope card. And I saw Karen do this. I just have not had the time to make this fold yet. So thank you, Kim. And Penny Kreitz is also a back porch stamper. And here she just put down her pieces wherever she wanted them to be. Did the sentiment and happy birthday. Deborah Gray. This is a cute one too. She has 3 strips of designer series paper here that are run through the textured embossing folder and then just spaced apart just a little bit, put everything on an angle, backed it with another layer, and she used the hippo for the happy birthday. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. Susan Boback, this is her birthday card to me. She actually thought she was late, but I told her you're early. It's the 4th of November, so she was early. Love this right here. I love those 4 little embellishments right there in the corner. Oh, and they're up here at the top too. Very, very nice embellishing there. And she had a little note. So love that card too. And then Vesta sent me a Thanksgiving card. And this is one of Karen's, Mary Nabe. This is taken from a card that Mary had done. I've seen Karen do it also. But it's the Funfold. It's kind of like an easel, but it actually puts together a lot easier than And I did this fold many, many years ago where you were cutting on your cardstock coming down so far, and someone out there made it a lot easier to do this sidestep card. So thank you, Vesta, for the Thanksgiving card. So that's all the cards that I've got to show you for today. Now we can get into our projects, or project. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the cards. They mean so much. So this card actually was inspired by a mystery card that Deb Smeek from Delight of My Art did a month ago. And I did it along with her on that Wednesday. And I asked her last week if she would mind if I cased the card for a Facebook Live. And she was very gracious and encouraging. Go for it. So I'm going to show you what my card looks like that I did from her mystery stamping. So this is a tower card. It sits up like this. And then it has a little mechanism here that has your greeting. So it mails flat in an envelope like this. And then when the receiver gets it, they just push in the sides to make that square. And then their little greeting is popped here on top. So this is the Funfold that we're going to do today. I'm going to use the Fitting Florets collection to do mine. And you can decorate the sides how elaborate or simple that you want. At the time of doing the mystery card, I just reached over and got all of the die cuts from, excuse me, the flower dies that had retired, just to make it simple so I could grab. I got my little picket fence in there, and just to make it easy. So this is the inspiration, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples with the Fitting Florets, what I did. So here's one of them that I did using the oval frames that comes with the die set. I have to tell you, these sentiments stamp so crisp. I just love them. Plus, I love how big they are. It can help take up space on your card if you don't want to do a lot of embellishing to your card. The sentiments are a really nice, good size. Here's the little gold embellishments that come with the collection. And then if I just turn it over, here I stamped a little message on the white. These are from the die cuts that come with the collection. I just love those open dies like that. And I put a few more of the little gold swirls on there. So here you can see the mechanism. I'm making my mechanism a little bit thicker because of how big my oval is. I wanted to help keep it from being too floppy. So that's one. And then I did this one. And I don't have a frame around it. It's just two of the ovals laid on top of each other. Again, using the little gold swirls, some more of the... Now this image right here, there's a die that will cut that out of the designer series paper. There's a die for this blue flower, but I just fussy cut the rest of them out. And then just layered some more and put Celebrate. So this is the card that we're going to do. So you've got an idea ahead of time what it's going to look like. So let's bring in our components here. So the card base is 8.5 by 5.5. And I've scored mine, but I'm going to bring in my trimmer just to mock the scoring with you so that you know. What we're going to do is you're going to put the 8.5 inch side at the top, and you're going to score every 2 inches. So, oops, I wanted it this way. So here at 2 inches, you'll score. Move it over to 4 inches, score again. Move it over to 6 inches, score. And then you'll need to put your arm out because we need to get over to 8 inches. And when you score at 8 inches, you're going to notice there's a 1/2 inch that is going to be on leftover, okay? So that's your scoring. So while we've got the trimmer out, I got ahead of myself and I already cut the designer series paper, but you have a 5 1/4 inch square of designer series paper, okay? What you're going to do, excuse me, you're going to cut that into 3 1 3/4 inch strips. So pretend this is all together. You're going to come over at 1 3/4 and you're going to cut. And then you're going to move it over again and cut at 1 3/4. So that 5 1/4 inch square is going to give you 3 panels that measure 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay? Hi, Mary. How are you? Hi, Mary Ellen. Thank you for watching from Montana. So you have that. Okay, so those are components. I had you cut a 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 neutral, which I'm using basic white. If you're going to do any stamping on it, now would be the time. For this card that I did, I just stamped a little sentiment thank you up there. Did I stamp all of them? I might have. Yeah, I did for a special person on a special day. And then for this one, just celebrate. So if you want to stamp something, go ahead and do that on the piece of white. Leave yourself room for signing your card, okay? Let's see here. Want to get all the components out of the way. That way when we go to putting it together, we can just be on a roll there. So the other thing that I had you cut was a 5/8 of an inch. Now Deb did hers at a 1/2 inch. Again, I think depending on how much stabilization kind of that you want to put on to hold your greeting, this still moves, but it isn't, you know, really, really loose. So you can make your mechanism as thick as you want it. But this is 5/8 by 3. We need to cut this in half at 1 1/2. Okay, so cut it in half at 1 1/2. And then fold each of them in half. Like this. Okay, so it forms a little V. So fold them both in half. And you can burnish them with your bone folder, or you can give it a good press with your fingers. So you're going to have 2 mechanisms that are going to sit like this, and that will hold your greeting. Okay, so set those to the side. Those are your mechanisms. And then I had you, for your greeting or for your label, I am using the ovals from the dies, from the collection. If you don't have the dies, and some of you will if you are a demonstrator because we got to order early, Some of you may have the layering oval dies that retired. Maybe you're using a square, or you're cutting the rectangle that I gave you, like 2x3. Just have something for that greeting. You've got the background layer, and then you've got the stamped layer. Okay? And then what I did is I am going to put one of the frames right on top of this. But we'll do that later. Okay, so we've got all of our components. I've got some fussy cutted and die cutted images from the floral paper next to me, and I don't want to get them out of line because I kind of staged my card as far as decorating it before beforehand, and I recommend that you do that. Once you've got it laid out in front of you, just kind of get an idea where you want to place things on your panel. Okay, so let's bring in that cardstock base again, and all of our 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 panels. I need to reach through the camera here because I need my tear and tape. The liquid glue would work just fine for this, but I like the tear and tape. So I've got this terrible frog in my throat this morning. So with the card base in front of you, I've got this little 1/2 inch piece to my right, and I'm going to be working left to right. What we want to do is we want to score, or we want to burnish all of our score lines, especially on dark cardstock. Sometimes it's hard to see those score lines, so that you're placing your designer series paper in those areas and getting a nice even border all the way around. So sometimes actually creasing those score lines help you see that you want your designer series paper to lay right in that panel nicely, especially on dark cardstock. I didn't realize that when I chose the Night of Navy, but I just love this Night of Navy, especially stamping with the ink. So on the very first panel here, this is where you're going to glue that piece of white cardstock. I'm not going to stamp mine just yet. I'm not really sure how I want to use it. I mean, I think it's a thank you card, so I want to leave room to write. So I really, right now, I'm not going to stamp anything else because the greeting on the front pretty much says it all as to what the message that I want to convey. So we're going to place that inside of that panel. I want to encourage everybody to go check out Delight of My Art. Check out Deb's Facebook page, and her mystery stamping is actually done within the group. So if you want to do the mystery stamping, you'll need to join her group. She has done so many fun projects so far. She loves Funfolds. I will give you that tip right there. She loves Funfolds. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue down our designer series paper. I'm sorry, I got out of, probably got out of camera there. And pay attention to direction if your designer series paper has one. And then just keep working to the right until you have all 3 of your designer series panels on there. I do have a PDF ready to go after the live. This was not an easy PDF to make, only because explaining how I'm doing the card, sometimes it was hard to like figure out what were the right words to explain it. So definitely watch the live on replay with it if you find that the PDF is a little confusing. I don't think it is, but yeah, sometimes the method of your madness is hard to explain. Okay. So here we have, whoops. Here we have our panels. Now what I want you to do is I want you to just flip it over, fold this 1/2 inch strip in, and this is where I'm going to put the tear and tape. You could use your liquid glue. I think it would hold well enough. You're just going to have to hold it in place. But just put a strip tear and tape there, or maybe you're using the Stampin' Seal Plus. And then remove that backing. And then while it's like that, just fold this left side of the card over and place it right on top of that adhesive. So now you have your tower. Okay? That's how you make the tower. That was the hardest part to describe in creating the PDF. I don't know why, but it was. And so now you can see that you can bend it different ways. But what we want to do is we want to lay it flat to where you have 2 pieces, and I want to make sure my direction is going the right way. 2 pieces of designer series paper looking at you. Okay? Now bring back in those 2 mechanism pieces. You want the folded edge pointing in. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue these down just to the sides of this score line here. You don't want them glued on it or over. You're just going to, you could even just butt them up to the designer, to the edge of the designer series paper as a good reference. But you want this fold facing in. So you're going to flip it over and put some adhesive on the back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my largest oval in and kind of see where I want this to sit. And then I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to, just come down. I am going to set it probably right about here. Yeah, that looks good. And then I need to put the other one next to it on the other side. Pull that flat. And put this right on the opposite side. And hold them down. So now you have these little flaps on the mechanism that's actually going to hold your greeting. Okay, it's going to sit up like that. Now, if you want to hide your mechanisms, you could put them down first and then put your designer series paper over it. That's all personal preference. I just thought it would be easier to demonstrate this way, and I don't mind seeing the blue cardstock. Okay, So there is your card. That is the gist of this card for today. The rest is just decorating. You know, just designing it. It's just a matter of where do you want to place your cutouts. And so now you're just decorating. Now's the fun part. Now next to me, I have all my pieces lined up in the order that I want them. I'm going to put my label on last. So the way I'm starting out is I'm flipping the card over and I'm going to start here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I fussy cutted even the straight, the images that were along the edge of the paper because those make really good edge piecings. Here's something I want to show you. If you're using a fussy cutted image, die cut, punch, whatever, remember, this is the size of the card. This is what has to fit in the envelope. While it's folded like this, if you have pieces that want to navigate outside of the little panel that you've got, they can do that as long as they are on the same side. Because if they hang out beyond these borders, it's not going to fit in your envelope. But it will fit if you overlap something that's towards the middle. So keep that in mind and make sure that when you pop it up into its form, that they all still work together. Okay? So for instance, I want to put this up here along that edge. This little part of the leaf actually carries over to this side, but that's okay. As long as I don't glue that leaf down to this other side, it will work. So I'm going to hold it where I don't want glue to be. And then I'm just going to put that right up here at the top. I didn't put glue on that leaf, so it's not going to interfere with the tower once it's popped up into position. Okay, so this image here was cut on a corner. So I thought that would be cute to put right down in here. So don't dismiss those images that fall on the edge of the designer series paper. Use those to your advantage. I'm going to put that one right here. And then my next panel, I had this edge going right here, this flat edge going at, on the side here. So I'm going to put it up far enough that it's staying inside the borders. But I'm going to put this one down first because this is actually on the bottom. It's just a matter of layering your images where you want them. You might be using die cuts. I wanted to use up some of the paper that I had left from die cutting some of the flowers out. So I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to layer this over that one. Lining that edge up with the designer series paper. So there's that panel, and then I can flip it over, and I am going to put this here. I'm going to put this down here. It is going to come over just a little bit, but that's okay. As long as I don't glue it down to the other side, I can still pop up the card. I'm just taking advantage of all those pieces that I could fussy cut along the outside of the 12 by 12 sheet of paper. You don't want to throw them away because they make really pretty additions to the inside of your card on in the corners and stuff. So I'm just going to layer this a little bit. Just have that one peeking out from behind the other. And then my last one is going to go right here. Again, a little bit of that leaf is going to carry over into the other side, but it's okay as long as I don't glue it down. And then I have a couple of the die cut little leaves here. I was thinking about maybe tucking, I need to cut this off a little bit. Tucking, get off of my finger. Tucking one of these in there like that. So it's very open, so I'm just going to want to be real careful about how much glue actually I put on here. I just need a little bit, just enough to secure it. Stick that back there and just press it. And then this other leaf, I don't know, I might add that later. So there I've decorated the card. Now it's time to put the main sentiment, the focal point, together. So here I have, this oval actually is left over. When you cut this frame out, you get this oval. So you get two pieces. Okay, so I'm using this oval. Kind of tore up my paper there a little bit. I think I'm going to put that down on the bottom because I am going to put something over that. And then this oval is what you get when you do this frame. This oval comes out of that. So I'm going to use that there. And then I did do this frame in Night of Navy to use also. And what I'm going to do with that is, how did I do that again? Oh, I'm going to turn my frame over. I'm going to put just little tiny spots of liquid glue on it. And then I'm going to turn this over too. And now I'm going to just line it up so it fits right in there. And then this is what the frame looks like. And the reason why I wanted this Night of Navy on the back is because when you put your card together, you're going to see the backing. So you're going to want that color to be what you want it to be. Now this is going to pop just right inside that frame because it was cut from that oval. So all I'm going to do is just put this back in with some glue. I'm going to wiggle it. It's going to pop right into. And so there I have my frame. Notice that I stamped up here because I took one of these fussy cut images. I layered it onto a piece of Night of Navy and then fussy cutted it again because I realized that if I'm going to put this down here, I didn't want the opposite side of the designer series paper showing on this side. So once I had cut this image out, I glued it onto the same color cardstock that I was using here, and then I just cut it out again. So that's going to lay like that. So now what we can do is we can put glue on our little tabs here. And then you're going to take your sentiment label and you are going to sit that. I need to pull this down in front of me. You're going to sit that on top like that and let that catch. If you're using liquid glue, it gives you a little time to maneuver. And so then when you pop it, then here you have your sentiment on your mechanism, on your mechanism. Okay, so now what I want to do is I am just going to put a little bit of, I wonder if I should pop that with, I think I'm going to put a dimensional there. So I know on that pink flower right there, I want a dimensional. And I might be able to put a mini up here where this little sunflower is. I just don't want to put them down low because then it won't work. And then over here, I'm going to put a mini dimensional. Oops, get the glue out of the way. Let me see again. Okay, I'm going to put one there. And I think I'll put one right there. So we'll just put some dimensionals on there. Never thought to pop it up. And then these dimensionals are going to go on the label, not down on our card. Like that. And then that adds a little bit more dimension. And then I'm going to come in with these beautiful gold swirls. You know what I love about these? I'm a big fan of the embellishments that lay flat. It just helps not add bulk to the card, but still you can bring out the bling. So I am just going to figure out, where do I want to put some gold? Where do I want to put some gold? Maybe right here. I'm not going to do my twos this time. One right there. And let's put one. Maybe on the label. So there's some bling. I hear somebody breathing, but it's not me. Did my husband move the car? Susan. Oh no. Someone's coming in over my voice. Oh my gosh, I bet my husband moved the car. Actually, you know what happened to us yesterday? we were coming home from a little drive, and all of a sudden something hit our brand new car. Well, it's a year old. Hit our car so hard that we expected, when we pulled over, to see a huge collision indent. We couldn't figure out what it possibly could be. So whatever hit us, which we think we found when we went back to where it happened, we found a little propane cylinder tank, like the little propane cans that you get for like little tiny mini grills and stuff. We found that laying right by the edge of the road. And it looks like maybe the top of it, where the propane comes out, hit our car so hard it actually punched a hole in it would be the passenger door behind my husband. Punched a hole in the door and left some damage as far as when it then bounced up and hit the door, took paint off. But it hit so hard, we felt like somebody had collided with us, but there was no car around us. We don't know where this came from. Maybe it flew out of a bed of a pickup truck that came by. Maybe it was in the road and somebody hit it and propelled it in our direction. We don't know, but it was so loud, and we were afraid to even get out of the car to look at the damage, because the way it sounded, we thought the damage was going to be so much worse. Luckily, nobody was hurt. The car can be repaired, but oh my goodness, it was quite the ordeal. And my husband babies the vehicles. Those, I take care of my pets and he takes care of the cars. He dotes on his vehicles the way I dote on our pets. And so that was his baby, and it just broke his heart to see that hole in the door. Maybe it'll just need the door replaced. I don't know, but it sounded so bad. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the project. Please share your pictures of your finished product in the group Quilt Cards and More. That's where we share all of our projects. And I can't wait to see what you do. Maybe you're doing a Christmas one. Maybe you're doing a birthday one. Just can't wait to see what you are using what you have. I wanted to show the new collection because it was really my first time to really play with it. So, okay, Tony, I will see you next week. And I'll see Jean next week. Thank you for the birthday wishes, and I'll let you know how that martini goes. So, everyone, I will see you next Thursday. Remember, make sure you share your project over in the group. And have a very blessed day, everyone.